What do you think the most important part of a boss fight is? Is it the mechanics? No, that is important, but it's not the best part. Could it be the design? I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but I don't really think so. Maybe the movement pattern? No, that can't be it either. Oh, I know. It's the boss's music. It sets the mood and gets you ready for the fight that you're about to experience. A track can tell you something about the boss, such as their personality or their story, such as the final boss theme of Xenosaga Episode 2, specifically the intro starting off operatic and then shifting to EDM, which is fitting considering this is a showdown between two brothers, which are artificial beings which were bred for destruction, having a battle to the death.
I am a weapon! Every cell in my body is aching for a fight! They long to collide with their anti-existence! I've probably wanted to fight from the moment we were born!
There's no one here to hold us back! Bring it on!
In Xenosaga 3, when you face off against Dmitry Yuriev, a scientist driven mad by his quest for divinity, represented by the calm vocals before the song picks up, depicting the fear he felt when he witnessed a vision that made him search for the anima relics. How about a mechanical being that was given freedom only to use it to harm the ecosystem? The Guardian Archveld has what is arguably one of the best themes in Monster Hunter Wilds, telling you its story about how you're forced to kill it for the good of the ecosystem. The purest embodiment of hatred. Nothing fills you with more dread than coming face to face with the legendary Black Flame, especially during his fight in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Throughout the first phase, you get to hear Roar Rathalos in Kokoda Village, showing how things have come full circle from your origins in Kokoda Village during the first game, but also filling you with pure fear hearing the vocals. After the Kokoda Village leitmotif plays, proof of a hero can be heard trying to start, but it doesn't, symbolizing the situation you're in as your hunter struggles to overpower the same dragon that wiped out a kingdom in one night. And then you get to taste its flame fueled by pure hatred. Then, you get to hear Starsetter Backs and Astera's theme, reminding you of your humble start in the new world as a hunter. And then the chorus gets more intense, matching the power of Fatalis for the next two phases until you can overpower it, but we're gonna save that bit for later. Much like Guardian Archveld, Malzeno had a tragic past, serving humanity and forced to turn against it as it was controlled by the Kyrio, now becomes empiric, draining the life force of other monsters, and what a better way to portray this monster such as the Organ. How about an unseen enemy and something so mischievous it will steal your supplies? That's right, we're talking about the best Elder Dragon Chameleos. That is in Volcana, of course. I'm not talking about the version from his debut game, Monster Hunter DOS. No, I'm talking about the version of Rise, which will always incorporating Japanese instruments to sort of fit the ninja theme that Chameleos had. And, just to completely remain unseen with his gimmick, but it also adds a new part to the song which personifies his mischief. Of course, music is also used to invoke emotion into the listener, and what better way to personify this than Rivers in the Desert from Persona 5. You're finally showing down with the man who ruined your life and started this whole mess. You're finally here getting payback after all you've been through. For a JRPG track named One Who Bears Fangs at God, you'd think the track would be as intense as the Deus theme that came before, but it's calm, and here you are finally putting an end to this endless Ouroboros. How about another man driven insane by his lust to be a god? Zanza the Divine is quite similar to God's as it starts off calm but gets intense almost immediately. But this isn't what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the song that follows immediately after, named The God-Slain Sword. It's at this moment Zanza realizes you're not trapped in here with him, he's trapped in with you. And Shulk now wields a new Monado thanks to Alvis and his will to change the future, free of Zanza's will. How about stopping the destruction of the world from someone so nihilistic, who believes humanity should be wiped out from the suffering it caused? But your party disagrees, and they believe in humanity, and they do it to help others, and if they can't achieve it in their lifetime, they leave it up to the future generations. But of course, all this started from one man, and 500 years prior to the events of the main game, you bear witness to the destruction he caused, serving as the catalyst for everything that's about to happen. The fight starts off with a rendition of Amalthus' theme, but it's more cocky, representing the control Amalthus had on Malos, but also his cocky attitude during this time, before it switches to After Despair and Hope, before you face the true final boss, which is a rendition of Jin's theme named Our Paths May Never Cross. This is the moment the game has been building up since the start of the death of Laura, which led to Jin becoming a flesh eater. There's also saving humanity, making sure all the genetic code and power to the Lifehold core remains safe and functional after you finally tracked it down, where it landed after your ship crashed on an alien planet, and now you're fighting one of your former comrades mixed in with other sorts of DNA as he's losing control over his body, accompanied by lyrics that urge you to save humanity. Of course, the same track appears again when you're trying to ensure that you can escape to a new universe after the force that originally destroyed Earth tracks you down, along with you having to fight an entity that's immortal and it yearns to feel something. How about you instill fear in the player and then hype them up as a reward for surviving? In all of the Xenoblade Chronicles games, you can find bosses in the overworld called unique monsters. However, you will know our names from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 as the most iconic theme for good reason, as the first one it showcases the power the enemy is likely to have over you, before it changes triumphant trumpets and you're gaining an advantage until... The song goes from you knowing the unique monsters' names to them knowing the names of your party. How about something so prideful it starts hurting itself, trapping you in its arena in a battle to the death, leading to what is arguably one of the greatest final phases in any game ever. As you can hear Braggadiosa's theme here, but it's more dire as you have to win as the chorus sings his theme in a really intense way. Remember how Arkville used its freedom incorrectly and you had to kill it? Yeah, well now it's thriving in the wild as a species, and now it has a new theme that carries rage and tragedy, and you can't forget the game's theme making its appearance. How do you make a track for an apex predator that weaponizes storms? Well, of course, you have to start off the track with the crackle of electricity, followed by a cycle of intense and calm tempos personifying the storms that Rei Dao was fought in. Want to make your player feel like a god? Make them fight something bigger than them and give them a moment so iconic that no one will forget it. Xenoblade 3 is a game that has more of an emphasis on music as you play a melody to send off your fallen comrades. Thanks to this emphasis on music, the game uses a lot of flutes in its tracks. Now what I said about You Will Know Our Names applies here for You Will Know Our Names finale in Xenoblade 3. However, when you get the enemy down to a certain amount of health, you get drums and transition to flutes, dominating the track instead of guitars. The flutes always symbolizing your party, especially the protagonists Noah and Mio. Now I don't want to go through every track, so let's go through a quick fire round. Most battle gets more serious as consoles start to take you seriously and they get angry at you. course, there's also the regular boss theme, as the climax theme is completely unique, giving you a rush after an intense fight. I hope you didn't forget Vitalis, because there's one important thing here as you gain the advantage on Vitalis. As you use a Dragonator, the series' main themes start to play, but this isn't just a special rendition that appears in the other games. This is the very first rendition from the first game. The best thing about Proof of a Hero is that when you're exhausted and you think you're gonna lose, that's when it comes in. And that gives you the final push you need to beat this monster. Fatalis isn't the only Iceborne monster to use Proof of a Hero, but this time it does start up. This is of course the Red Dragon Safi'jiiva. You're in the final phase of the hunt, it's out of places to run, it has no more energy to drain, it's cornered, and you get a reminder of that. Also, when it targets you, you can hear a heartbeat, presumably Safi'jiiva's own heart. As if it were yours, it'd be faster. Lagiacrus was one of the most anticipated monsters to return, and Capcom made sure to do him justice, because when he returned in Wilds, they added a bit where you can hear the theme of Monster Hunter 3 to One with Life, making a lot of longtime fans emotional. Colgera from Tears of the Kingdom. Now, Tears of the Kingdom is not my favorite Zelda game. It's definitely not up there. However, Dragon Rose Island playing during the final phase, reminding Zelda fans of their time sailing across the Great Sea, but it also comes with some great original beats. Now, the other boss that was memorable in this game was of course the final boss, including the final catch, and this is the time you're serenaded with the game's main theme throughout several parts, but also Ganondorf's theme reminding you of who you're fighting before the main theme takes over again. Of course, I can go talk about Tears of the Kingdom without mentioning Breath of the Wild. Same things can be said here, but Ganon's theme fights more here, representing the struggle between Link and the evil that's always taken place in the land. But also, this is a fight on horseback, and you get to hear the daytime horse theme. Now, anyone who plays Deltarune or Undertale knows how much Toby Fox loves leitmotifs, but I'm just gonna focus on the freedom motif held by all the secret bosses in Deltarune. Music is important, if not the most important part of the boss fight, as it makes connections to previous fights in the story, and it tells you the traits of a boss or makes you feel what the developers wanted you to feel during a fight. Now the script is starting to get long, so I'm gonna split this into two-parter, so the next video will be on regular comic themes, and as always, like the comment, subscribe, it means a lot to me. It's a smaller creator, and until next time, see ya!